Welcome back to the Glitch Feed. I'm your host Roger, and today I wanted to do something a little different. Today we're going to start a new segment that I like to call the Trailer Park Breakdown. In this segment, we're going to be taking a closer look at some of the newest trailers making their way online. And for our first installment, the timing couldn't be better, as in the last few days we've seen 3 significant trailer releases that's got the internet buzzing. We'll be discussing the first look at the Black Phone 2, and the long-awaited return of Happy Gilmore, and the initial teaser for the final season of Stranger Things. So if you're ready, let's get into the breakdowns. First up, let's talk about the Black Phone 2. But before we get into the new trailer itself, it's worth setting the stage a little bit. The original film, director Scott Derrickson's adaptation of the Joe Hill short story, was quite a success with both critics and audiences. It currently holds an 83% positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and perhaps more significantly from a studio perspective, it earned over $161 million worldwide on a budget of under $20 million. Now, many who saw The Black Phone would agree that its story felt quite self-contained, wrapping up neatly by the end. It definitely didn't scream sequel potential. However, when a film achieves that level of financial success, discussions about a follow-up are almost inevitable. And indeed, Universal Pictures and Blumhouse Productions have announced that Black Phone 2, which is now set for release on October 17, 2025. Interestingly enough, it was stated that the intention for this sequel is to be the launch of a new Sinister franchise. So, a quick reminder of what the first film was about. Mason Thames, a shy but clever 13-year-old boy who was abducted by a sadistic mask-wearing killer known as the Grabber, played by Ethan Hawke, and trapped in a soundproof basement. The terrifying twist comes when a disconnected phone on the wall begins to ring, and Finney discovers he can hear the voices of the Grabber's previous victims, determined to help Finney avoid their fate. With the arrival of the first trailer for the Black Phone 2, an interesting thought came to mind. Whether this sequel, especially with the Grabber's return, might offer something of a compelling alternative for fans who are still waiting for a new Freddy Krueger film. Ethan Hawke is returning, and the trailer strongly suggests that death isn't the end for this character. He seems to be coming back from beyond the grave, intent on vengeance against Finn, and now it seems his sister Gwen is also a primary target. The story reportedly picks up 4 years after the first film. Finn, now 17, is trying to move on, while Gwen at 15 begins experiencing her own disturbing visions and receiving calls on that infamous Black Phone. These visions apparently lead them to a new location, Alpine Lake, and a shattering intersection between the Grabber and her own family's history. Director Scott Derrickson and co-writer C. Robert Cargill are returning, which is a positive sign for maintaining the unsettling atmosphere. Derrickson describes this as a high school coming-of-age movie, which is an interesting perspective. The trailer does emphasize a more pronounced supernatural element. With the Grabber now appearing more powerful in death, it looks to be significantly raising the stakes, and hopefully the horror and the tension. Alright, shifting from horror to something quite different, nearly 3 decades later, Adam Sandler is indeed taking another swing at Happy Gilmore. During Netflix's Tudum event this past Saturday, May 31st, the streamer debuted the new trailer for the highly anticipated sequel, Happy Gilmore 2. The footage teased a movie packed with cameos. The trailer opens with Happy falling flat on his face while golfing. The trailer shows Happy, now in his 50s, being drawn out of retirement, apparently to raise $300,000 for his daughter Vienna's ballet school tuition. A very fitting motivation for the character. Sounds a lot like the first movie where he had to raise money to pay for his grandma's mortgage. Christopher McDonald is back as Shooter McGavin, and Julie Bowen reprises her role as Virginia Bennett. As anticipated, Ben Stiller also returns as the orderly Howell, who now appears to be running a support group. Details are still somewhat under wraps, but the trailer teases Happy's re-entry into the competitive pro golf world, and includes appearances by several real television personalities like Ken Jennings and Stephen Smith, and there are also short glimpses of Eminem, Post Malone, Becky Lynch, and more. Christopher McDonald has mentioned that the script possesses a good deal of heart, exploring themes of friendship, rivalry, and aging alongside the comedy. But beyond what is seen in this specific trailer, other new additions to the cast reportedly include Bad Bunny as a rival golfer and NFL star Travis Kelce. Directed by Kyle Newacek, Happy Gilmore 2 is scheduled to stream on Netflix July 25th, 2025, and it seems designed to appeal to longtime fans and perhaps attract a new audience as well. Finally, let's turn our attention to Hawkins. Netflix also used their Tudum event to provide the first official look at Stranger Things Season 5. And while it's more of a date announcement and a teaser than a full trailer, it's certainly enough to spark excitement. The most significant news is the release structure, a 3-part event for the final season. Volume 1, 4 episodes, will be released on November 26, 2025. Volume 2, which will include 3 episodes, will follow on December 25th, 2025. And Volume 3, which is the finale, will arrive on December 31st, 2025. This sets up a significant holiday period for the fans of the series. We also have the episode titles for the concluding season. Volume 1 dropping November 26th. Episodes 1, The Crawl, Episode 2, The Vanishing of. It's being kept as a surprise as of right now, but all of you fans out there can theorize on who's going to be vanishing, what's going to be vanishing. Episode 3, The Turnbow Trap. Episode 4, Sorcerer. With Volume 2 dropping December 25th. Episode 5 being Shock Jock. Episode 6, Escape from Camazotz. Episode 7, The Bridge. And then finally, the finale dropping on New Year's Eve, titled The Right Side Up. These titles, especially The Vanishing of, with its deliberate omission, and The Right Side Up for a finale, certainly offer a lot to speculate about. The teaser obviously combines footage from previous seasons with brief glimpses at new episodes, showing the main cast preparing for the ultimate confrontation. Season 5 picks up in the fall of 1987. Hawkins still dealing with the aftermath of the Rift's opening, and the group is united in their goal to find and defeat Vecna, who has vanished and his plans unknown. The government has quarantined Hawkins and is searching for Eleven, forcing her back into hiding. And as the anniversary of Will's disappearance nears, a familiar sense of dread is present, foreshadowing a final battle against a darkness more powerful and more deadly than anything they've ever faced before, emphasizing the need for the full party to get together one last time. Now, what can we expect from these final episodes? Well, the Duffer Brothers have promised that answers are coming. They previously mentioned that they actually wrote a 25-page mythology document for Netflix way back in Season 1, detailing the lore of the Upside Down. Matt Duffer explained that while they wanted the Upside Down to remain mysterious, Netflix prompted them to document it. Ross Duffer said during Geek Week back in June 2022 that some of the last remaining questions answered in that document were specifically held back for big reveals in Season 5, and these reveals will significantly affect the season's narrative. So it sounds like there's a very established endgame. On the character front, there is a good deal of fan discussion online, particularly around Max's fate. A Reddit thread suggests her return could be a significant plot point, with some speculating about her regaining consciousness and having to deal with the lasting effects of her injuries. While the specifics of her awakening and how it will impact the season's plot are being kept under wraps, the show's creators have hinted that Max will play a crucial role in the final season. The 3-part release, while not ideal, will allow for viewers to absorb the final season in stages. This is the grand conclusion to the series, and it's poised to be a scary, emotional, and action-filled farewell to Hawkins. So, looks like we've got quite a bit to look forward to in the coming months, from the intensified horror of The Black Phone 2 to the nostalgic comedy of Happy Gilmore. In the epic finale of Stranger Things, it's shaping up to be a very busy 2025 for film and TV addicts like myself. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts and opinions. Which of these trailers are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown informative, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the Glitch feed for future episodes of the Trailer Park Breakdown and all of our other content. Hitting the notification bell will ensure that you don't miss any updates. And thank you for tuning in to our first Trailer Park Breakdown. And until next time, take care.